Hello and welcome to part 2 of the 1000 oscillator mega drone. So yesterday the circuit boards finally turned up and it sort of really shows the gravity of the situation. If you look here, basically this is 100 of the circuit boards and here's 100 of the panels, and literally if you try and pick this up, I'm going to try and pick it all up at once. It really shows the kind of mass and the scale of this project. Like picking both of these up together would you'd probably give yourself a hernia. It's quite a chunk, and this is what they look like when they're done. There's all the MOSFETs. There's 1,000 MOSFETs. There's 2,500 potentiometers. There's 2,500 knobs. These are knobs reboxed with all of my Patreons' names on them. Me and my girlfriend have written all of the names of my Patreons onto separate knobs. There's more knobs here, and if you see in here, you can spot they've got names on the knobs. There are some knobs that are unnamed at the minute, so if you want your name on a knob, then sign up to the Patreon and I'll write it there. And at the end of this all, I'll take a load of photos and I'll basically sort of make a database so you can know where your knob is and you can find it. Find your knob. And then underneath there's multiple transistors and capacitors and everything else that is required to solder these together and complete them. So anyway, cue a very sped up version of this week and I'll see you on the other side. To my left is 70 populated soldered circuit boards that don't have their panels or LEDs yet in their box. They're still work in progresses. Down here we have 30 completely finished mega drone modules. Each pile of 10 are actually in a different pitch range. That's so I'm starting the lowest and then I'm working my way up. And to my right are basically 2,500 knobs. And a fair few of them have the names of my Patreons written on the knobs. And what I'm gonna do is when it's all finished, I'm gonna take a big picture so you can find your knob. It'll be find your knob on the mega drone. And yeah, there are still a fair few empty knobs. So if you wanna get your name on a knob, then go over to the Patreon and you too can have your own knob. But yeah, this is all well and good, but where's the case? How's it actually going to be bolted together? Well, that's what's behind me. So it kind of worked out as a better idea to actually bolt them straight to a wall. So no need for like extra wood and massive boxes. It's literally going onto the wall. And behind me are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows already that have been drilled in place. So I'm going to start populating these rows now with these 30 mega drones. And yeah, see where we get to. Right, let's go. So I've just put in 3 rows. As you can see, there are a few that aren't working. In real life, as I'm looking at it, the lights are pretty damn bright and I can see it's not that obvious on the image. I think it's because it's still light outside and I've got some blackout blinds on the way, so I'll be able to block it out and yeah, just really make it bright. But I've got a few to fix on these. I've even forgot to put the jack leads on this one. But I think the next thing what we're going to do is actually put some knobs on these ones. A.Allery, Boris. Oh yeah, we got a few names out here. Beowulf. Ugh. No, that's not going to happen. So I started putting the knobs on and realizing it was probably a very, very bad idea to do it at such an early stage. The reason is half of these need a couple of quick fixes and stuff, so I need to be pulling them in, pulling them out, and these will all get out of order. Currently, they're actually in alphabetical order, and as you can see, there are a lot of them, and this isn't even half of the knobs, because for every one of these knobs there is a small knob that goes as the volume control of that oscillator. So that is the latest on the 1000 oscillator mega drone. Needless to say, I was very optimistic with my timings. As usual, it's probably going to take about 4 times as long as I was expecting, but Rome wasn't built in a day now, so it's fair enough and it's fine, and I'm nearly on the home straight, not quite, but I'm nearly there. As you can see, there are only 3 rows up at the minute, and there is another 7 as well as a mixer row that's going on the bottom. In fact, I have 200 jack cables on their way. They haven't turned up. They were supposed to turn up a few days ago, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, so there's going to be a lot of jack cables hanging off this as well. And I probably haven't mentioned this yet, but I'm actually planning on making this publicly accessible. So if you want to come and play it, there will be opportunities to do so when it is done and it is safe to, to open up. This is the beginnings of the museum of everything else. Yes, it sounds a bit silly. So a little bit of a backstory. I've been talking about opening a museum for years now, and somehow it's sort of happening. It's the top goal on my Patreon, which I haven't reached yet, but I'm still going to have a crack at it, so we'll see. Needless to say, at the minute, it's mainly funded and powered by Patreon. So if you're interested in seeing how the museum of everything else is going along, go and check out over there, because I'm doing lots of vlog updates regarding it as well. And needless to say, your support on there will be able to open this as a community venture and, you know, put synthesizers and machines in the hands of people that, you know, might not usually be playing them and stuff like that. I can envision the next update on the 1000 Oscillator Mega Drone. I'm hoping there's going to be some sound coming out of it, and it will be maybe in about a week or 2. It depends how quickly I can solder and fix things. But yeah, that's about it from me. I've been Luke Mum No Computer. If you want to see more of this, don't forget to subscribe and don't be scared to try it.